every year you go into season and we're always looking for a good buck, but every once in a while you cross paths with the buck and it becomes something that you're chasing after and you dream about and you think about. And 4 years ago, it just so happened that we came in contact with a deer that was going to occupy our thoughts for the next 4 years. So me and Laythan, we were setting a spot that we hadn't set ever before. And we had a really nice 3.5-year-old that came in and put on a show for us. So after that encounter, that deer walks off and Laythan looks over at me and says, "That's gonna be a really good deer in a few years."
I'm not sure what you say about that, besides awesome. I mean, he wasn't a real old deer, so he wasn't one that we were gonna take. He's got the framework of a giant.
So the next year, me and Laythan are setting in this one particular spot, and we hadn't been there very long, and we had an opportunity at the deer that we had seen the year before. And he had gotten to the point to where I felt like this deer might be one that we would shoot. So the following year, we were really excited about season. We set out all of our trail cameras, and it wasn't long before we started getting pictures of the buck that year we would call Dagger. This deer had really blown up a lot from the previous year. He was right at that, gross 160 mark, and he just continued to give us the slip that year.
What's the automatic focus on this line?
It's not bad. You have to push it and the focus is right on. The problem is, if they're doing automatic focus, like it does like a
Oh, I see.
oh, right there he is, right there he is.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by SWAT Broadheads, Drain Your Game. Shine Sense, works anywhere, anytime. Dead Center Archery Products, the best stabilization money can buy. True Ball and Excel Archery, others claim it, we prove it. Threads Custom Bowstrings, performance, reliability, success.
Got up and we saw a good one out there. I'm gonna grunt a few times and hopefully we can pull one over. We just
got enough light to shoot, so I'm hoping we'll see how it goes.
Hunting's different for everybody and what they value and what their goals are. For me, a long time ago, I determined that hunting was about the memories and not necessarily about the antlers or the size of the deer. I wanted to experience something that I was going to remember for a long time.
Up here this morning, we walked in. This is a spot that we haven't hunted all year. It's a spot though that's been good for us for a long time. And we walked in here, saw a big deer out on the green. And this was not a giant, but he's just a nice older deer. He's got split G3s on both sides. Could happen here any second again, so I'm gonna let Laythan switch over and take the hunter seat. But that's a good deer. He's piled up right there. I heard him die. So sweet.
Over the years, I've decided that hunting doesn't have to be perfect. Every hunt doesn't have to be, doesn't have to fit in the frame of what you see on TV all the time. And this was one of those hunts that I'm gonna cherish just like any other. It was a great deer and I was excited to have him.
Today's Sitka tip of the week is about arrow rest setup. Everybody on the planet uses a fall away rest because it gives you complete arrow and fletching clearance. The most important part of your arrow rest setup is the fact that you have your fall away rest coming up in the last third of your draw, which ensures the fact that it'll go down in the first third of the draw. This ensures that you'll have complete clearance on your hunting arrow.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by Ozonics, undetectable, undeniable. Sitka, turning clothing into gear. Black Eagle Arrows, precision carbon arrows. Quiet Cat, the most advanced hunting and outdoor recreation e-bike in the world.
Well,
every bow hunter knows that the excitement, and they experience that excitement as deer season rolls around once again, and you head to the woods in October just hoping to get a glimpse of a shooter buck, a good buck. And then it just, you know, when you start thinking about those first 2 weeks of November, just the excitement and the anticipation, and you start planning, and you're staying away from certain places just because you know the first time you go there, those first few days in November could be the ultimate time. So, I mean, it's just the excitement just hits an all-time high just a few days before November. So it's the second morning. Wes has already got a deer down. I mean, we're seeing bucks cruising. We're excited. We switch stands right after he takes his, thinking, hey, we're going to double up this morning the way it's happening. And from that point on, really the rest of our 9 or 10 days was just flat. We didn't see much. Well, if anybody's ever filmed hunts and done it, you know, tried to do it for a whole season, you'll find out real quick, two people's schedules, getting them lined up, it gets tougher and tougher as the season goes by, and we're into the early part and the middle part of December, and you know, it's just tough to get our schedules together. So we had a meeting, we said, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do our best to get out there when we can and just self-film and hope for the best, because when you're self-filming, that's what you do. You just hope for the best. And so it rained more than maybe I anticipated. I'm down here trying to get to my stand, which is in a great place when the water gets up. If you look behind me, because they can't come to these fields. Oh. Can't come to these fields, and my stands up here on high ground. We're bound not to be down in here, but I'm gonna have to cut through some territory that I could jump some deer. Maybe not, we'll see. I just walked through 100 yards of about 10 inches of standing water. Anyway, see you in a minute. Well, I'm in the first week of December, and I head into a spot that I've hunted, but never this actual place. And I carried a stand in, set up that evening, and like 30 minutes after I'm set up, I look up and here comes a shooter buck. All right, it's been a couple hours. We're back in. I've, thought about it. I think I hit him good. I'm almost sure when he stopped up there, I know his tail was reaming and circling. I just didn't see him go down. So it's been a couple hours plus some. We're on the start of some decent blood. So we're going to track him up, and hopefully he won't be in here too far. So, right here he is. Dude, we're going to step on him. Well, here he is. He went further than I would like, but not real far, 100, 120 yards. Man, I'm telling you what, it's December 12th. I'm so tickled pink. I said it in an interview, he might as well be a booner to me. I mean, I've hunted, me and Wes, good grief, we've hunted since day one. I've had so many close encounters with deer of this caliber and better and smaller and just couldn't close the deal. But finally, on December 12th of an evening, we made it happen.
Full Draw Adventures is brought to you by Martin Archery, designed and engineered to offer the best archery experience available. Whether your game is target or hunting, Martin is at the head of the pack.
After 2 specific bucks this evening, we've been hunting hard this year, and we know roundabouts where we feel like these bucks are staying. There's 2 bucks in particular. There's a split brow tine buck, and then there's Dagger, and last year we hunted Dagger hard, and we just could not close the gap on him. We had him close and distant, you know, in shooting distance, but it just did not work out. One time I was 50 yards from here, and I had him at 30 yards ready to shoot him, but we didn't have enough camera light, so that's kind of the scenario. We've been after him for a couple years, and we're just hoping to put our hands on him. So sitting in a spot where we feel like we've got him kind of pinpointed. I've got my cameras out, watching the trail cameras, using the cell cams, and I know that they're frequenting this little 4 to 5 acre spot pretty regular. So we're gonna kind of sit in here. I'm hunting by myself tonight. It's muzzleloader season, but hopefully we can put our hands on him, so we'll see how it goes.
It was Illinois muzzleloader season, and in Illinois, as long as you wear orange during muzzleloader season, you can archery hunt. So it had been a nasty evening. I mean, it had rained and it was just gross. And I hadn't seen a whole lot. It had been pretty slow, and I was in the process of starting to tear down a camera. And about that time, I heard something right behind me.
That is him. That is Dagger. Oh, we've been after that buck for 3 years. I mean, 3 years ago, I shot over his back, and we chased him hard last year. And then this year, I got him. Oh, man. Oh, that is so exciting. I'm gonna have to call Laythan and let him know. He is dead right there. Oh, man. I must have not made a great shot, but all I know is he is down and he is out.
We are thrilled, man. I'm telling you, this is the close of a chapter that has been a long time coming. We got up this evening and it was, it's muzzleloader season, so we had to wear it all, even though we're archery hunting, and it was it was an awesome evening. What do you say about an evening where you get to put an arrow into a deer that you've been chasing for 3 years? And man, we're excited. We're excited to have him, and we're excited about what next year brings. So awesome deer. Anytime you put a lot of effort into something, when that chapter closes, there's a little bit of reluctancy about it. And even though I was really excited and really happy to kill this deer, it was also semi-bittersweet. So the chapter on Dagger is closed. 4 years, done. But next year, we're starting a new book.